I had a photo shoot last Friday, and let me share with you that it broke me down in a way that was next level breakdown. Not during the shoot, during the actual photo shoot. I had a stomach ache and like the entire time. But let me just share with you really quickly. So this photo shoot, I did one last year. You've probably seen it. It has the Warrior makeup on it. And it's all about like showing you what's possible, showing you your inner warrior, showing you my inner warrior. And this one is all about the like lead up to being a warrior, right? Like the lead up to being a goddess. I'm actually using the word goddess, and because I did not want to use that word for a very long time, but it's much lighter, it's more playful, this photo shoot. And again, it's all about the inner journey and letting the inner journey come out. Okay, so with that being said, that's the backstory. And I can't wait for you to see the photographs because they're really, really cool. So my husband's a producer and he insisted on working with this very high-end celebrity photographer. He's like shot Robert Redford and John Goodman. I don't really know celebrities, but I saw his portfolio and I recognized a bunch and high-end like professional athletes and things like that. He charges like $50,000 a day. That was not what we did, but anyway, it felt like a lot of pressure. It was intense. It was in this very fancy studio, blah, 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 makeup artist, whole thing. And I had a stomach ache the whole time, but I was holding it together. And then the next morning I cried a lot, like a couple of hours. I mean, like deep crying, like sobbing. And the thing that was going on in my head was, and in my being, in my body was like, this was my head. In the spiritual warrior programs, we talk about this, the weasels. We use the term the weasel, like the thing that gets in your way of being your greatest. The thing that voice that gets in your way of possibility, like you're not good enough. Oh, you're never going to make enough money, blah, 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 blah. That's your weasel. Weasel, 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 weasel. So my weasels were like up and running. Like, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? Like, how are you going to live up to these photos? Like, what, you're going to show the world that you're some like magical spiritual warrior? How am I going to live up to that? And I was in this deep level of like, can I hold this power? Am I powerful enough? And I was talking to my friend Monty later on that day because I texted him and I was like, I'm in complete breakdown. And then I'm, making a joke about it. Like, I'm in breakdown that my photo shoot, like my photo shoot was just too much for me. Like, it just sounds ridiculous, right? Like, it's like the photo shoot was so hard. Like, that's really like, I was making a joke, but it did really feel real. But here's the thing. It's my next up level. It represents my next up level. And when I did the photo shoot a year ago in my garage, that's all done in my garage, that makeup. I hired it. This was during COVID in San Francisco. Everything was shut down and weird and everybody was terrified. It was like very dystopian. I'm telling you, it was weird. Anyway, so we created this photo shoot in my garage with a photographer who was willing to do it. And then a makeup artist who was willing to do it too. We did the makeup outside, very makeshift, but the photos turned out amazing. But they're very dark. And I was in a darker place back then. I was really dealing with a lot and like my inner warrior, really navigating this COVID times and what my truth was, not the media, my truth around what was happening in the world. And it was intense and I was navigating a lot. Anyway, this one's very, very different. But I up-leveled when those photos came out, and I'm going to up-level again when these photos come out. Wait till you see them. They're so freaking cool. So here's what I want to leave you with. One, I don't know if I'm ready to up-level. Maybe I never will be ready, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to do it anyway. I'm doing it anyway. And I'm not doing it, I'm doing it messy. I'm doing it by breakdown. I make mistakes all the time. I fail, but I'm doing it anyway because I'm ready for my next up level. And for me, and I'm going to ask you in a moment, what's your next up level? But for me, my next up level is serving more people. Creating a spiritual army of badass spiritual warriors that where we are leading people, leading ourselves, leading people as we go through this next level of consciousness that we're going through in the planet. Like I have a vision, I'm on a mission. So my weasels don't really effing matter. The vision is what matters. So what's your next up level? Your next up level may be different from my up level, but you get to start stretching yourself. No more playing small, no more victim, no more weasel. I can't do it. I'm too scared. What are people going to think of me? I worry about that. What do people think of me? I worry about that. I think about that. What do you think of me? But I can't let it stop me. So what's your next up level? Your next up level may be this. I got to call my brother who I've never, we've been in a breakdown for a few months and I'm scared to call him. I'm going to call him. Your next up level might be clearing something up with your boss. Your next up level may be like, I do not like my job. I'm going to start looking for something else. Your next up level may be like, I'm an artist. I'm going to start painting. I'm going to release the weasel and start painting. Whatever it is for you, do it. Just do it. It's not going to be, may not be comfortable. In fact, it probably won't be. But boy, it'll boost your confidence like nothing. Like it'll just keep getting better. And then you'll go to the next level. And then you'll have some more weasels and then you go to the next level. And the next thing you know, you're in your freaking power fully. And at least very close to it. And you'll show up anyway, no matter what, like a badass warrior, like a badass spiritual warrior. This is why this word matters right now. It's about boots on the ground, working with the divine, working with the guides to usher our power in, to raise our consciousness and move past all of this darkness and all of this mess that we've created here on the planet. We are rising. You are rising. So what's your next up level? Hit reply to this email because I would really love to know. And do not be embarrassed. Be like, there is not an up level too small or too big. So hit reply to this email because I'd love to know what your next up level is. All right. My name is Beth Osmer and I will see you on the next